noticed that most of y'all that watch this channel are not subscribed. Make sure that you subscribe so that we can give you that dope content that you love. Content about music production, content about music in general, and about life.
Let me work. Please let me work.
I was going through my comments and I came across some interesting comments from viewers like Sound Ninja and Raw Sharpness. These comments really got me thinking. Sound Ninja said, "These people sleep on the MPC sounds. Just got my first MPC. I see a lot of people sleeping on the sounds. I've been using Jura." My man Raw Sharpness said, "Not gonna lie, I didn't care for the Native Instruments plugins for the MPC. Jura and Fabric do enough." I said, this got me to thinking, are we really sleeping on Jura? Do people buy these MPC plugins and just stop using them? We're going to check it out. So here what we have in front of us is AIR Jura, emulation of a 1980s keyboard synth, Japanese synth. There was a Roland synth. The AIR Jura plugin by AIR Instruments is a virtual recreation of the classic Roland Juno-60 synthesizer. It features both classic and expanded control layouts with adjustable oscillators, filters, and effects like delay and reverb. This combination allows producers to craft various sounds, blending nostalgic analog vibes with modern flexibility. So as you can look here, we have a plethora of different areas, but let's start right here. So what you can do here is you can hit the keyboard section and you can actually demo the keys down here at the bottom. As you can see, you can actually see me playing the keys here. So we have a plethora of things to cover in terms of this UI. Over here, you have a gear icon. And if I click on that icon, you can see this icon right here. And with this icon, it brings up this section. And with this section right here, you can access your audio device, your output, your sampling rate, and your buffer size, as well as the MIDI instruments. These are your MIDI inputs. This particular icon here, you have your menu options. You can scale. I scaled this one up to 140. As you can see here, I scaled this up to 140. You can load different presets if you made presets. I don't have any presets at the moment. You can save presets. You can open your user guide, which is good. You can get the about information as we have here, the version 1.0.1.8, and you have check for updates as well as deactivate. Here at the top, you have your different types of instruments you can access. You have your ARPs, you have your ARP basses, your chords, your bass thumps with a number of different bass patches that you can use. You have your bass subs, your bass res. There's a number of different instruments that you have here. Tempo here that you can adjust. And then here you have another settings icon. Now, the importance of this setting right here is that this can take you into your vintage mode. From your vintage mode, you can access the UI layout. If I do this and then I come out, you can see that my layout changes. Then you can add DCO noise. Your DCO noise you can add there. And then you can have your chorus noise if you want there as well. Now, when we say DCO, we're really talking about the digital controlled oscillator. Now, if you're like, what is an oscillator? Because I know a lot of us aren't sound designers. You know what I mean? Some of us, we just go through the patches, we take the patches, and then we're going to use it from there. So when I talk about a digital oscillator, think about when you were a kid and you stood in front of the fan and the fan was going. You started to talk in the fan and it kind of sounded like this and it made that sound like that. So that's kind of like an oscillator. I should have said, oh. Shout out to and rest in peace to Biz Markie. At the same time, if you ever heard a church organ and then they turn on the fan and then the organ starts, you hear it rotating, that would be like an oscillator as well. This section right here. In the next section, you have your high pass filter. In the next section, you have your voltage controlled filter. Beside that, you have your voltage controlled amplifier. The goal of this was to shape the sound. Then you have your envelopes. You have your envelopes 1 and envelopes 2. Your attack, decay, your sustain, and your release when you're trying to add different effects to particular sounds or envelopes, so to say. We have our LFO right here. As you can see here, you have your sync, your resync, your speed, your delay, your ramp. You have the different shapes of your LFOs that you can use as well. And you have your mode. Right beside that is your chorus. And you have chorus 1 as well as chorus 2. And you can take those off and then you can mix those. So say like if I have the chorus here, I can mix the chorus. Here's one thing that I really like about this section right here, where you have the delay, your EQ, your reverb. With the delay, if I click on delay, you have all these options right here. If I click on reverb, it switches, and now we have our reverb options here as well. If I click here with the EQ, now we have the EQ options, or the settings in which we can change for EQ as well. Your delay, your reverb, and your EQ. Off to the side, we have the analog sound of our VST. And then we have the volume that's associated with our VST as well. Going down just a little further, you have your arpeggiator. And with your arpeggiator, you can hold, you can have it on, you can sync, and you have different modes. You have your up and down mode, as played, up and down, repeat, down and up, repeat, as well as random. And then here you have different ranges. You can have ranges from a 2-voice range or a 3-voice range as well. We also have a glide. And with that glide, we can actually affect the time of the glide. We can change the glide to legato, or as well as have it all for all notes to glide. That's where you can get like a real nice sound, a sultry sound. Then we have the different voices that are associated with this device as well. You have polyphony. Right here I have 6 because that's what this particular instrument Abandon came with. And then you can have one voice, you can have unison. See, that's one voice, is unison, and then you can have a chord. And the cool thing is you can come in here and you can set your chord. This would be like a 1, 3, 5 or 0, which would be the root, and then the 3rd, and then the 7th. We could even change this to the 5th. We could change it to the 5th, the 1, the 3rd, and the 5th. But here it had the 7th. And you can record them as well. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You can detune the chord as well. We have our pitch bend off to the side right here. So we can affect our pitch bend. You can change the range. If you click in just like this, I can change the range to about 5. So whenever I hit a note, that bottom one's only go to about 2, but I can go 5 notes down or range down. Just like that. I think that's really cool. Then you have your modulation right here. Of course, you know, I have a keyboard that has a modulation wheel on it. And if you can see here, I'm adjusting that modulation wheel right here, as you see it going up and down. Now you see this LFO trigger here. If I have the, right here, this LFO in manual mode, I can click this LFO trigger and then I'll get an LFO. But if I depress it, see, now there's no LFO. And remember, we're talking about that oscillator sound. That wheel. Let's just go over some of the sounds that it has as well. Work. '80s harp. Back then. Fluffy. Prodigious. These are the ARPs. Tunnel. Debris. Twister. Catapult. Metropolis. It's a lot of great sounds in here that you like. It just takes time to experiment. So here's a beat that I made, and this is Jura right here, and I'm using my launch key. So that's that version, that, you know, the one that you're using your DAW. And then I also have the one that's inside the MPC Loud 2, and it came with this beat here. That's Jura right there. Okay, so who should grab AIR Jura? Just let me know. Now, I'm gonna let you know. If you love that classic 80s Juno-60 sound and don't want to spend thousands of dollars on vintage hardware, then this is perfect. You don't have to just use it in standalone. You could use it in your DAW. You can also use it in the MPC software. Also, this is for producers that like to produce synthwave or use those synthwave sounds, produce R&B, house, pop, lo-fi hip-hop. You name it, the world is your oyster. This device can do it. If you want a warm analog sounding synth that's simple and inspiring, then Jura delivers. That's just a quick overview of the AIR Jura plugin VST. And, you know, if you like this, make sure that you go to the website from AIR Instruments. This is AIR Jura. This is Dayson Civil with Sun Civil Media. This is AIR Jura. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure you check out this VST because it's one of the great ones. A great plugin from AIR Instruments associated with Akai. All right, everybody, this is Dayson Civil. Peace. Subscribe. Drop a comment, especially if you got some questions or things like that. And believe me, if you like this video, you will love this video right here. You can watch this one right here, right here, right here, here.